So Saturday's live game on Sky sees Manchester City play Liverpool. Promises to be an intriguing game. Liverpool doing very well the way that they go about things against the top six teams. Unbeaten in last season and obviously going into this season as well with the result against Arsenal where they were absolutely magnificent. And we touched on Liverpool a few weeks ago in terms of how they like to play against the bigger clubs. And I'd just like to go a little bit further with that when you look at Mane, Firmino and Salah, the way that they play the game. So if we just look at them really, first and foremost, how they play against the lesser teams and how it can be a little bit of a struggle. When Liverpool play against the lesser teams, they're the ones, the onus is obviously on them. They have all the possession. So what we find is the likes of Salah, obviously they're playing high up the pitch, Firmino and Mane. Forward, this one back. Now the problem that Liverpool have when they play against the smaller teams, they stay back like that. They'll stay compact and there's no real space in behind. What happens is then, we know that Henderson plays the defensive midfield role, but you've got Chan that will go and get involved. And you've also got Wijnaldum, if it is these two that are playing either side of Henderson. Now the problem that you have with that actually brings more midfielders in. Even the forwards from the opposition will drop in as well. Now, what we've seen from Firmino this season is that he's near enough playing as a false number 9 and he drops, tries to create space for runners to go through. We'll get on to how they did so well against Arsenal in a minute. But the problem is that Firmino is so good at dropping into these spaces. But as we can see here, when they're playing against teams that are willing to sit deep and defend, that means that the onus is on Liverpool, so therefore the likes of Chan and Wijnaldum, they're getting up there as well to support Firmino, and it just becomes so congested here. That means there's no space in these areas whatsoever, so the pace of Salah and Mane becomes redundant because there is nowhere for them to go. Because if they're looking to get behind the opposition back 4 or back 3, they're just going to be going out of play. The ball's going to be going out of play. The ball's actually going to be going through to the goalkeeper. And Firmino, like I say, he finds himself in this area, so he can't really dictate play because everything's so close. Whereas if we go back to Liverpool when they're playing against the bigger teams, the top 6 teams. A lot of the times when Liverpool play against the top 6 teams, they're happy for the opposition to have the onus. They're happy for the opposition to have the ball, have more possession. That works perfectly for Liverpool. So what we find is, as we saw last week, the pace of Salah and the pace of Mane becomes very important. So what happens is these two playing a little bit higher up here. We have Firmino, we've talked about him previously, playing in near enough a false number 9 role. What happens is, because Chan, Wijnaldum, you have Henderson, the defence midfielder. Wijnaldum and Chan, they'll go forward a little bit more, but they don't look to get overly involved. You've got the full-backs that will actually stay in position as well. And you've got the 2 centre-backs that come up here too. Now, what happens is, because the midfield of the opposition, whether it be Arsenal, for example, last week, they want to come and face the likes of Wijnaldum and Chan. All of a sudden, look at the spaces that are here. There's huge spaces here. This is where Firmino, for me, is at his best, when he drops off the opposition and then either makes things happen or creates space for others. So because of this, that means that the 2 centre-backs, they are then drawn in there. The full-backs then have to move up, as they're going to be playing the rest of the Liverpool plays, in particular Mane and Salah, onside. Now, what happens is now, as a full-back, you have a real problem. With Firmino dropping into this space here, what do? As a centre-back, if you go in there, and what happens is, take him in there. Look at all the space that is in behind now. There's so much space in behind now for the likes of Mane to get into on this side and Salah to get into this side. And because the opposition play a little bit higher, because Liverpool are allowing them to have the possession, look at all the space that's in behind now. And this is where Liverpool take full advantage. They did it against Arsenal on numerous occasions, and I expect them to do the same against Manchester City as well. I think they'll defend deep, I think they'll be compact, and Liverpool will be happy to defend because they can turn defence into attack very, very quickly. They're the best counter-attacking team in the Premier League, and I expect Mane and Salah and Firmino to have a big say in the game tomorrow against Manchester City, and I'm going for a Liverpool win.